It isn't a home renovation project until you're making band-aids out of paper towel and painter's tape. But don't use electrical tape. Painter tape, it breathes more. Okay, drywall. Drywall sucks, especially when you're doing it by yourself, but that's what I'm doing. So this is a garage. Most garages have a sloped floor, and just the way they're built and assembled and whatever, you're gonna find that your ceilings are actually more than 8 feet tall most of the time. So in my case, it's 8'3" on this wall, and it goes up to like 8'6" at the front. Most drywall is 4x8 sheets. So what you would do is you would just 2 sheets horizontally, and that would be your vertical. However, I can't do that because I'm going to have a gap all along, and it's going to vary, and it's going to be a pain. So instead, I'm using 4x10 sheets, and I'm ripping them down to, in this case, 9.5 inches on the back here, and then I'll just taper them towards the front, and I'm doing them vertically. Unfortunately, this garage has never been insulated. It's, it's inside, but it's, it's subject to temperature changes. So the walls in some of these 2x4s, they're not exactly the straightest. So I'm kind of having to bodge it in a few spots, and of course, by it not being a divisible by 8, it kind of makes some weird gaps and whatnot. But it is a garage, and you can always paint over it. So let's get started. So it kind of sucks when you're doing drywall and the outlets are already wired up, which is why if you see along the back, the circuits I've run, I haven't put any outlets or switches on them yet. Because that way, you just cut a square and put your drywall on and you're done. In this case, because the outlets are all wired up, you either completely have to take it apart and start over, or you do what I do here and just kind of measure it out and then just kind of undo it, and hopefully you can finagle it through, screw drywall on, and then put your outlet on. Remember, the square needs to be bigger than the box, because again, it does stick up past your studs a little bit, but it needs to be smaller so that these flanges here on the outlet or the switch actually sit on the drywall when you screw it in and you put your cover plate on. And hopefully you didn't make your hole too big and it hides it all. Okay, so now it's time for mudding, taping, sanding, priming, painting, and look, we're already done. Yay! It didn't take any time at all. In fact, yeah, no, I'm pulling your leg. So this wall right here isn't going to be on camera. So I very quickly, half-assedly, finished this wall here and painted it with some gray I had left over from the basement. So that way I could take all of this and put it against this wall so that we can finish doing all this stuff in a way that actually looks good on camera. I still got to do all this, but I got to move all this stuff first. So that I'll show you how to do, or at least how I'm doing it. Again, we're doing it in a budget, and I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible and all by myself. So I hate sanding. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere, but it is what it is. So let's get started. Okay, so before you go ahead and mud over all these screw heads, you may want to go around with your screwdriver, shop LTT store, and just make sure that all the screw heads are actually slightly below the surface. If they are flush with the surface or actually proud, when you go to mud them, you're not filling anything in, and it's just going to be a pain. So go around with the screwdriver and just make sure they're all seated below the surface before you begin. So of course the original builders half-assed this, and they didn't put proper edge piece on it, so this was all crumbling apart. So you screw on this metal edge piece, and then you just put mud on it and blend it out so you don't see it anymore, and it protects your corners. It makes them nice and sharp and crisp. Okay, this is my phone line. Yeah, this is how they did it. So after mudding and taping everything, you've got to sand it, and sanding sucks. When you do all the mudding and everything, try and make everything as smooth and easy as possible, because the less cleanup you have to do with the sand, the quicker it'll go. So when you're using, I find, mesh sand, don't actually use sandpaper, use like a mesh screen for sanding. It doesn't build up as quickly, and you can go for longer. It still sucks though.
Sanding a ceiling friggin' sucks.
Painting ceilings sucks too. Okay, so now we're ready to paint. Everything's mudded, sanded, I've got the ceiling painted. So now we're gonna paint the walls. Make sure everything's all clean first. So again, if you mudded and sanded, make sure there's no dust on the walls, clean the ceiling, clean the floor. Make sure it's as clean as possible before you start painting. It'll help give you a better final result. For the paint we're going with, I'm using Sherwin-Williams because they're close to me. I'm actually using their outdoor paint. It's a little bit more resistant to stuff. This is a garage, there is a water source in here, plus who knows what we're doing in the future in this room. Now normally you would want to go with a lighter paint in a smaller area to make it seem bigger. However, this is also a shop for a YouTube channel, and I prefer darker backgrounds. It helps separate what's in the forefront, me and whatever I'm featuring from the background. It's just what I like. So the color we're going with is called Tarragon. It was suggested to me on a live stream by somebody, I can't remember who, but I kind of like it, so we're going with it. So now it's time to paint. Now luckily again, this is a bare garage, I haven't even put the outlets in, so I don't have to tape anything up, and if you're good at painting, you really shouldn't have to tape too much. But yeah, so let's get to it. Again, also because I'm cheating and I'm not mudding this corner, I'm using a piece of quarter round along the top seam. I don't really have to be as clean when it comes to cutting that edge with the paint. So obviously I'm going to try to avoid getting paint on the ceiling, but this whole corner is going to be hidden by quarter round. So it allows you to be a little bit loosey-goosey when it comes to actually painting the So that's the first coat. So now you wait for it to dry for a bit, do another coat. Okay, so we've got like almost a dozen of these outlets to install. As always with electrical, if you don't know what you're doing, find somebody who knows what they're doing and have them do it, because it's electrical and there's angry pixies in the wall. You don't want them getting out. So these outlets are quite simple. Black to brass, that's hot. White to silver, green is ground. And for the ground, you may have noticed there's 2 ground wires, or the bare wires. In the back of the box, there's 2 screws. So what you do is you take one ground wire, you attach it to the box and you cut it. The other ground wire you attach to the box and you also attach it to your outlet. That way the box is grounded, the outlet's grounded, and it's a continuous ground. Also, you may notice the hooks are in different ways. You want the hooks going with the direction of the screw. So they screw clockwise on this side, so you want them going like that. And on this side, they're clockwise, so you want them like that. That way it tightens the hook as you tighten your screw. And yes, there is a bunch of extra wire. You want that. It should all fit in the box nice and tight when you shove it all in. Sure, it's vertical. And then we put our cover on it. Now, fun fact, you can get these in different sizes. So if you oversized your holes, you get bigger covers to hide your shame a little bit better. There we go. One done. More to go. Okay, all the circuits are wired up. We got new breaker in the electrical box. I've got a light plugged in just to give us visual that it works, hopefully. Hold on to your butts. We have light. It works. Well, it's getting there. It's starting to actually look like something worth filming videos in. I guess, I don't know. It's almost there. So electrical is now done. All the outlets now work. We've got 2 20-amp circuits now to draw from, along with the existing 15-amp that's already in the garage. So we should be good for CNCs, printers, all that. The walls are now all painted. We've got to do trim work, which I've kind of started to do. You can see the top trim there, but I've got to actually do that. I got to do around the door. We got to paint the doors still. But it's getting there. We've actually already done a stream out here, and yes, it's echoey. I still have bat insulation. I'm going to have to build some acoustic panels to take care of that. And also we have to actually, you know, once the garage reno is done, we have to actually build a shop out here and also a streaming setup. So computer, cameras, proper lighting, acoustic panels, so it's not so echoey. I've got the shelf here, which if you're watching this today, we built it on stream yesterday, I think. Yeah. So it's getting there. So if anyone from like Elgato or Corsair or any of those companies that's, you know, want to sponsor a live streaming shop setup, let me know, because I'm way over budget right now, and any little bit helps. So yeah, guess we keep on trucking on, and next part, hopefully there'll actually be a studio shop thing out here. Yay! Yay! Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell. Become a channel member. Do this now. Wow, this camera is dusty. I gotta clean this thing.